right? Let's get into the highlight of this game. And then we're going to do some breakdown of exactly how the game went and some of the controversial moments in this game. And I'm going to give my opinion on it. And obviously, I want to talk also on Arsenal in itself, because Arsenal has received a lot of criticism from everyone and their mums and their dad, their cousins, their nephews, distant relative. Everyone has got something to say about Arsenal. Even people that don't watch football. And it's evident. Even the trolls, the bots, everything is all involved. Arsenal seems to be the most talked about team in this entire season. Man, them have actually ignored their own clubs and how badly their clubs are performing and focusing on what Arsenal is doing, which to me is a sign of early mental. Again, I understand why. It's the algorithm, and Arsenal is the algorithm. And if you don't talk about Arsenal, you're not going to get no views. I know that, because ain't nobody talking about your dead team struggling right now. You know what I mean? Innit? So I get it. I understand that. But it's getting boring now, because I feel like we do need to get to a point where we can start being objective. Yeah, I can say, yo, I don't like Man United. I don't like Man City. I hate Tottenham. I don't like Chelsea. However, when there are good performances, I can be objective and say, yo, I'm giving flowers here, hats off there, bad performance there. You know, I can be objective, but I just feel like everyone is totally blindly hating on Arsenal without any reason whatsoever. But anyways, let's get into this. Let me not do too much talking. Let's get into this. Let me pause this right there, yeah? One thing I'll tell you lot about Gyökeres, yeah? Even I'm one of his biggest critics, bro. I tell you that right now. But again, I can be objective, unlike some people, right? I think it's too slow. I don't think it's quick enough for Prem. I don't think he's strong enough, yeah, for his size and, you know, being a main centre forward. Like, you look at Haaland and them and an absolute beast. I think he can still become that, but one thing you cannot take away from him is his striking. He's got that ferocious, like, bro, that man just shoot with precision and anger, fam. Like, that right there was a good penalty take. And for people that's telling me that, oh, it was soft, or Arsenal scored another penalty. I mean, if he was allowed to control that ball in that open play, that's a goal. So if man bundles you over from behind, I mean, it's a pen. Like, what? I don't understand this, bro. I don't understand it. But we need to go back here, bro. Pause that right. Well, no, I need to take it right here, cuz we need, like, this is absolutely diabolical, bro. Like, what are we actually doing here, bro? I don't like this, bro. I hate this. I hate this, bro. Boom. Yeah? Let me take that back again, because this is an absolute joke. Bro. This guy completely missed the ball. Where do you want Eze to go here? A man has stepped across, right? Stepped in front of Eze. Not only stepped in front of him, Eze got the first touch. Touched the ball away from the defender. Look at the defender's body positioning, right? Look at his body positioning, right? He's facing that way. Eze is the one more facing towards the direction of the ball because he touched it down that way. A man has clipped his ankle down, right? Clipped his ankle and then stepped across him. Where do you want him to go after that? That is a clear Stonewall penalty. And for me, we need to let's just stop it right there and just leave it right here, yeah? Because for me, for once, the entire pundit, I'm not talking about this useless guy that's talking on punditering the commentator. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about the actual pundits. For the first time, 98%, I think apart from one bozo guy, everybody agreed. Even the people normally that will champion Arsenal, I've heard them say some egregious stuff about Arsenal and all of that kind of stuff, biased, all of that. everybody unanimously agreed this is a clear penalty. However, you got some idiots in the comment section. I know some of them are bots, but some of them are actually trolls. They want likes, they want clicks, they want all sorts. They want to rage bait people into commenting, right? So sometimes I don't even pay attention to those people there. So I'm only speaking to people that still has comprehension skills, people that can still use their brain, people that have got eyes that God has given them, they can still use it for functioning and to actually use it to see this, and people that actually understands a game of football. I keep hearing, oh, that is soft, is this and that. What are you talking about? If this was your team, would you be saying that? Everyone will be screaming, robbery, robbery, we've been robbed. So I just don't see it, because I feel like somebody from the VAR, they need to come out and make a statement and explain how this decision by the referee that gave initial correct decision on field, I want to know why VAR intervened and overturned this. Because football is starting to become like boxing now. This smells like corruption. Because what is this about? So I don't even want to go back to Atletico Madrid's penalty. I don't want to go back to that. Because we saw on Tuesday, they gave that. Even though the rules clearly states, if the ball touches any part of your body that's legal and deflects to your hand, it is not a handball. However, Champions League have shown time and time again, this is meant to be like the most prestigious, the highest competition. So why is it that the quality of officiating is almost Division 2, Division 1 level? Even we talk about Premier League being some bad refereeing and officiating, Champions League is worse. Almost every single Champions League game, there's been some decision that makes you scratch your head like, what the heck was that about? You know what I'm saying to you? So how this has happened, I don't understand. And we are at the part of the competition now where, at the stage of the competition where, bro, is the finest margin. The finest margin. Because, like, they come next week. Now, that 2-1, a potential 2-1, potential, I'm going to say potential because we could miss the penalty. Let's be clear about that. So, but potentially is a big chance for Arsenal to have walked away with a 2-1 lead coming home to the Emirates. You know what I'm saying to you? Where we know all our fans are going to be, and I do want to say that to our fans. Like, you've seen the way they were, because we all know the pressure from the crowd. The pressure from the crowd, and Simeone, the referee crumbled. The referee crumbled. You know what I'm saying? Because I really want these people to come out. You see, the same way managers and players, they got to do pre-match interview, mid-match interview, post-match interview, press conference, and all sorts. Referees need to start being put to answer some of these things. They need to start doing post-match conferences with referees and talk about moments in the game and try to get an understanding as to how you arrived at some of these decisions. I think maybe at that point, it would just give us as viewers a bit of closure and a bit of understanding of, okay, this is the referee's reasoning. And even I might not agree, but I can see why. Because all of this whole thing where this wall of silence and referees just, they don't get, bro, it leaves us in a state of like, what the hell? Do you know what I'm saying to you? Like, what's going on? Like, what is actually going on here? And again, I don't see, or I didn't hear enough of these pundits and commentators talk trash the same way they do about Mikel Arteta and some of his antics on the sideline about Simeone. Because that guy should have been sent off yesterday. Not even as little as one booking for some of his behavior. So when some of us Arsenal fans start to talk about like, yo, there seemed to be an agenda against Arsenal, like people just think we're drumming stuff up. We're Arsenal fans of this and that and this and that. Listen, I don't know about the rest of them Arsenal fans that are delusional and wherever it might be. I'm a realist, bro. I'm gonna talk where, I'm gonna tell this shit I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna tell the truth. I'm gonna be unbiased. But regardless what it is, this is my team. However, at the same time, I understand football. I'm not a professional analyst, but I do understand football. I've played the game. So you got a lot of people who ain't never played the game and just jumping on this bandwagon because this is the algorithm right now, just diluting and messing up the whole thing and just talking rubbish online. This is a clear penalty, bro. There's no clearer penalty than this. So I feel like UEFA, wherever it is, even in the Prem, they need to start doing that. Start making referees have post-match press conference afterward and grill them about how they arrive at some of their decisions. Like, because we need answers. We need answers. This season, with combination of VAR and refereeing, it's been one of the worst. It's taken us back to the Fergie days. Yeah, when United players used to do knee-high boot challenges and referee just looks the other way. It's taking us back to those days. This is bad. Bad, bro. I can't lie. This is bad. Horrible. So let's move on to the actual game in itself. Because like I said, some people are talking about, this game was boring. Bro, there's two types of game here. And I don't think a lot of people that are going around that this game was boring. Look at the game before, the day before, PSG, Bayern Munich 5-4. And that's the game. That's the one this one's boring. Woo. And that just tells me all I need to know about what you know about football. Because you clearly don't know jack shit. You're a bozo if you don't think this was an amazing game to watch. Both teams went at it. I can't lie, I expected Arsenal to be poorer than this. Based on their performance over the last 4 or 5 matches, both Prem and Champions League. I feel like our quarterfinals was worse than this against Sporting. This was a good performance. So when we watched Atletico play Barcelona and we were all clapping that, what a great game. This is the same Atletico team. And this is why you have to start tipping your hats off for Arsenal. Because we make team play like this. To make a team, this is the same team that destroyed Barcelona. Are you not forgetting this? This is just a couple weeks back. It seems like we all have amnesia or something. Or man, am I getting memory blanks? This same Atletico we was clapping for handling Barcelona, where there was goals galore. They couldn't do that against Arsenal. And this is at their home ground. They could not do that against Arsenal. And that just starts to go to show you that, okay, we force teams to have to play in a certain type of way, bro. We force teams to have to play like this. And that in itself is a skill. You understand what I'm saying to you? Yes, in football, you get a game like the Bayern Munich PSG, where everyone's just going at it. Goals. You score, I score. You score, I score. This ain't basketball, bro. Yes, for me, if it's not my team, I like watching those type of games because I like to see goals too. But when it's my team, I like to see tactics. I like to see strategy. I like to see, a bit of, I'm trying to see what to say, but I had to put this. This game for me is the epitome of what you call sweet science of football. That word don't only just exist in boxing. Yes, you have yourself a Mike Tyson who's a knockout artist. Everybody paid to go and watch him. Knock a man out viciously round 1, round 2, round 3. Yes, we enjoy that. It's part of the sport. Then I take you over to the other side. You have a Mayweather. Sweet science of boxing. You understand what I'm saying to you? Where his fight might look boring to you, but when you actually watch a lot of the technicality that goes into it, the brain, that goes into it, how he evades punches, punch, hit and not get hit, movement, you start to really understand the science behind it and it starts to look beautiful to you. It's a dance. And that's what these men did yesterday. The game was very tight, choked. Both team defending tactically. Almost zero room for error. Because you will be punished. And when you look at it, both teams did go at it. Look at the amount of chances created. Look at the amount of opportunities. Look at the level of defending. For me as a coach, I'll be proud. I don't want to be a coach and just be conceding left, right, and center, bro. That's not a good look. That is not a good look. So when people are saying that this game is, but it just starts to tell me and let me know where your level is at when it comes to understanding the game of football. I just know you don't know shit. You don't know what you're talking about. This was a beautiful game. And I can also say the Bayern Munich PSG game was also a beautiful game. This was 2 different type of football, but great in their own rights. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So that's just my thing on that. If you don't get that, then there's not much I can tell you. Go and do some more studying. You know what I mean? Or you can die on that hill if you want to. But go back and watch the game and understand why this was a great game to watch. Both teams scored penalties. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, that shows you how difficult it was. That showed you how difficult it was to break down each other's defense. It just shows you what that was. And I've always known this. Like I was telling one of my guys months ago, when we was in Turkey, I was telling one of my guys, I said to him, I would rather us play Atletico Madrid than Barcelona because their style of play suits ours. They're a defensive team who likes to then catch you on a counter. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Yeah, that's why they've got Alvarez, they've got Lookman, they've got Griezmann, they've got these guys who can counter you, innit? Yeah, viciously. Right? But defensively, they do that low block, they're solid, and Arsenal plays the same way. At least we have from the start of the season, the second half of the season, at least we have been. Where, we have the Maduekes, the Martinellis, you have the Gyökeres or whoever's playing down the middle, And that's our version of that. Yeah, attacking-wise, we might not be up to their standard, but defensive, I feel like we are, or maybe even better. And when you look at, so we have similar style, and I feel like with Atletico, we stand a better chance than a team like Barcelona because the way they play, Arsenal struggle with those kind of teams that are on the front foot. The team that's always looking to attack you constantly. And I don't think we'd be able to cope. I don't think so. So even if we do make it to the finals, I feel like some adjustments has to be made because you're now playing at a level, either we get Bayern Munich or we get PSG. We're now playing at a level where we've got to constantly sit in. And they've got players, their attacking are so elite that these men can find a way through Nanya, boy. Them man can find a way through brick wall. Elise, you got all these men who are just Musiala, bro. Listen, Dembele, you have Bakola, like, bro, this is dangerous, fam. These men it just got danger written all over them, bro. These men, they don't stop coming at you, bro. They're not like your Martinellis or think that if I can't find a way, let me pass back. Nah, them man are, bro, they get that ball, they're coming at you. There's no way, they have no other option. They're coming at you, bro. You know what I mean, innit? And 9 out of 10, they're going to beat you. So, where it's going to be like a whole different game plan. But at least with Atletico, we stood a chance because we play similar football. And it's always going to be about who blinks first. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I've always said that. I knew this game was going to go like this. This ain't going to be a game of goals galore. If you know anything about football, if you know anything about both teams, you would have predicted that this is how this game was going to go. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I feel like, look, it's very important I do these deep dive to explain to some of you people that don't seem to know much about football, cuz. So that's just my take on that. Anyways, if we're not gonna, let's deep dive into Arsenal in itself and just what I think personally about Arsenal this season, because we have been a topic of conversation pretty much. We have been a topic of conversation everywhere. Everybody and their uncle has to talk about Arsenal. There's just no, there's no way around it. We have to talk about Arsenal. Like, that's just the only way. We must talk about Arsenal, innit? Like, why are we not going to talk about Arsenal? Do you know what I'm saying to you? We must talk about Arsenal, bruv. You know what I'm saying to you? You must talk about Arsenal, cuz. Because Arsenal is the algorithm. If you don't chat about Arsenal, what are you talking about? You know, if you don't talk about Arsenal, then what are you talking about? You know, because this season, in all my years of watching football, I've seen some stuff happen this season that I never thought in my life I would see. I just never thought in my life, in me entire life, I would see, cuz. It's not even about this game. I don't want to watch this game, cuz. I don't care about this game. I just want to have our logo up. You know what I mean? I just want to have our Arsenal logo up. You know what I'm saying to you? So, let me have this up like that. Yeah. Like, bro, this year, I've seen fans, do some stuff and online doing some stuff and saying some stuff that in all my years, I've been an Arsenal supporter. I've been watching football since I was about 5, maybe even younger, like, bro. And I've been supporting Arsenal since I was about maybe 7, 8. Like, bro. And this year, I've seen some stuff that I ain't never seen in all my life of watching football, bro. Man, them have completely forgotten, disregarded their team. They don't give a damn about their own team no more. It's all about Arsenal now. Oh, I want to go and hate watch Arsenal. I don't think I've ever heard that word used this much in my life. Hate watch. Hate watch. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, I hate watch Man City. I hate watch United. I hate watch. I don't even care about Tottenham no more. Them man are getting relegated. I don't care about them, man. Them man don't come. I hate watch Chelsea. You know what I'm saying to you? I do that. However, it doesn't mean at the end of the game, I'm going to be there criticizing Chelsea, criticizing City, criticizing, you know what I mean? I'm not. If they lose, it brings me joy inside. It does. I might have a word or two to say about it. I keep it moving. But what I'm not going to do is rent out a whole mansion in my head for City or Chelsea or Man U. It's not happening. Once that moment, I move on with my life. But I feel like now, Arsenal has become everybody's lives. And I wonder what these people are going to do once the season is over. What do you lot do with your lives once the season is done? I feel bad for you lot. Actually, you lot are lucky. There's World Cup. So I know World Cup is definitely going to will help you lot get over Arsenal winning the league and potentially Champions League. Yeah. I'm sure the World Cup will let you lot get over the pain quickly. Right? I'm sure. But you lot are lucky. World Cup is saving you lot. But let's be real though. Put your biasness to the side. I feel like when I look at my team, I'm not going to say I'm entirely happy with the way we've been playing. No, I'm not. I'm not going to lie to you. And I've been trying to figure out in my head what happened between the first half of the season compared to the second half of the season. What happened here? Because the way we started off the season, the way we was very front foot, the way we were playing, attacking as a team, defend as a team, you saw the way we was mauling team back. Whoa, we were shrouding teams, like we were collapsing teams. At the start of the season, you could see the intention and the sharpness, the hunger, the way we approached the game was very positive. Second half of the season, we've switched to this style of playing, which is sit in low block and try and not concede. And hopefully some way, somehow we get a goal, right? And it's not really a way that I'm used to Arsenal playing. You know, Arsenal in the history of Premier League, I've always played beautiful football. That's one thing. As much as you want to hate Arsenal, man would always give you man play beautiful football. I hear that. However, no trophies. Where is the trophies? Where's the silverware? You know what I mean? I remember that time when Chelsea was on top and Chelsea was doing the madness with Mourinho and all these managers they had winning the Champions League, they're doing their thing. And Chelsea used to be one of the most boring teams to watch. However, we gave them praises. Why? Because they won silverware playing that way. United, the same thing. You know, and it's like nobody cared because you know why? Nobody cared how they played. They won trophies. So when Arteta's decided that, you know what? To hell with this beautiful football. We need to find a way to deliver trophies. Not to the owners, but for the fans, for these players, for myself, for my legacy. We need to find a way. And they've decided to start playing somewhat like this. Yeah, I can, as a fan, and be like, I don't like the way we're playing. I don't, I don't like it. We're struggling to score from open play. I feel like when you look at the other teams, like all the top teams, and there's only a few of them I'm going to mention. You look at the Man Cities of the world. You look at the Barcelona, Madrid. You look at the Bayern Munichs of the world, the PSGs. One thing those guys have that we don't have is they can find a ball, rain or sunshine, they will score. They've always got that threat going forward. That threat is always there. Where they will find a way to score a goal, 2, 3, or 4. The threat is always there going forward. And we don't quite have that threat. Something is missing. We don't quite have that threat. So I feel maybe Arteta's realized that and decided that, you know what? Let's play to our strength, and that's defensive. Let's try not conceding, and God will give us a goal somewhere, somehow. Because that's generally how we've been playing. That's how we've been playing this season. I mean, this half of the season. Last year was a bit different, even though our striker Gyökeres didn't hit the ground running, but we had different outlets where goals were coming from. Odegaard will score, Rice will score, Martinelli will score, Trossard will score, Saka will score, So goals were coming from various places. Calafiori will score, Moreno will score. Like, we was getting goals. But now all those guys aren't performing that well, especially when it comes to goals. They're not hitting the back of the net. So we have to thank Eze and some of his beautiful strikes over the last couple weeks that's gotten us a goal and gotten us out of trouble. So, but outside of that, the goals aren't there like that. And for me, is a problem, because you are approaching that time of the season where, not even approaching, what am I talking about? We are in that time of the season where you have to win games now. A draw is not good enough. You need to find a way to score goals to win games. We've got 4 games left in the Prem, which we have to win all 4. There is no more room to drop any points. We have to win all 4 games to stand any chance at all of winning the Prem. Because City right now, they're on gear 5 right now. Even though this is not the City we've had to battle with for the last couple of seasons. They're a bit, they're a little bit, a couple gears down. But right now, this City, this is all they got to focus on. They've got, obviously, FA Cup final. I feel like they're going to win a second trophy in that. They're going to beat Chelsea, bro. Chelsea's dead right now. Right? So, in my humble opinion, City can still lose. They have some difficult games, but we cannot afford to drop any more points. So, we need to win all our 4 games. And Champions League as it is, the 1-1 ain't good enough. We're going to need to find a way to score and stop these guys from scoring anything next week. So we need to find a way. And that's why, for me, I'm just a bit, I'm in this space with Arsenal where I'm not sure what really happened. One only theory that I've got is that a lot of the players last year, they came out of the gate 120 miles an hour, burnt themselves out by December, because that December schedule was quite grueling on a lot of the players. I feel like it was tough, and I felt they burnt themselves. Man were burnt out by January, and injuries. I believe watching these men play, a lot of these players are playing with some sort of injury, but they're not going to tell us that, obviously. I believe a lot of these men are playing with some sort of injury, because when you see the way they're playing compared to the first half of the season, you just kind of realize that there's a little bit of something. They're not playing 110%. They're playing that, there's a bit of hesitation going forward. So I don't know if that's a stern message from the manager, or these men are always just trying to manage games on but I strongly feel like a lot of these men are burnt out and they're just giving their best right now, and this is just what it is. This is just what we have to kind of see the season out this way. I don't see any drastic, changes happening. I don't see it. So we just have to hope what we're given right now, what we got right now, is going to be good enough to see us over the finish line. But after yesterday's game, though, I was worried prior, but after seeing that yesterday's performance, I will say my beliefs are somewhat restored. I will say that. I will go out on the limb and say that. Yes. And to all you haters, I pray you continue to hate. Yes, I pray you continue to hate because we need it. It fuels us. We need that. And to some of you Arsenal fans out there, because I do need to say this, that are very delulu, and you'll just be, again, trolling back. Let's tone it down a little bit. Let's just tone it down a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, we can be proud of what our team have done over these last few years. And hopefully, this is the season. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, let me know what you guys' opinion is, man. If you lot felt like I was just waffling, cool. Let me know in the comments. Yeah? And if you agree with me, also put that in the comment. Let me know that, yeah, that was a good take. Let me know. Don't just watch this, because I know a lot of you lot are going to do that. Don't just watch this and keep it moving. Show me something. Like, share it, clip it, comment. I'd appreciate that. I promise you lot, and I'll do more of this the more you guys engage with this. I will do more and more of this. I promise you lot that. I'll be here every day giving you lot as much deep dives as I can. Yeah? Hope you guys enjoy this. It's your boy DT Don't Talk. Follow me on all socials. Subscribe to the page. Like. When you subscribe, ring that bell thing, innit? They always say, yeah, so you can get notification for any new content that we upload up here, yeah? We appreciate you so much. I appreciate you guys so much. Until next time, peace.